There are plenty of attack vectors to be worried about, and the standard for premium security analysts is to have a grasp of monitoring for anomalies associated with any number of techniques. This course tracks logically from the Leveraging Existing Security Device Alerts course here and contains more advanced information about these specific techniques used for web application attacks and how to catch them. There is not a specific knowledge requirement from the previous courses beyond the concepts of security monitoring and detection. But the reason that you need to be separately concerned about the application layer may become more clear after covering the other data sources in the courses that lead up to this one. The courses following this one continue to develop the rest of the kill chains being identified, and if you don't have web applications to be concerned about, then feel free to move on. But you will be missing out on exposure that is either the intent of the attackers, harming the business web application in one way or another, or is being used as the second most common initial access vector behind phishing. So it's good stuff to know. My favorite part about cybersecurity is the tools. I always feel like Q setting up Bond with gadgets he or she needs to defeat the baddies, except I'm both Q and Bond. It's really the best case scenario. Web application security at first seems a little daunting to monitor. The data is different depending on what application is being used. Often the communication is encrypted, and the attacks against web applications are in a class of their own. Fortunately for us, web applications are big money, and monitoring capabilities for business applications already exist to assist DevOps engineers in keeping applications up and running properly. Because of this, there's many solutions that support the main technologies and software stacks that are commonly used for web applications. And from this robustly developed field, there are plenty of options for you to choose from for monitoring and detection. Elasticsearch, being the jack-of-all-trades open source solution that they are, already has modules built for Apache, Nginx, and cloud solutions that will parse the logs that these solutions create for you to then identify different attacks within these various layers of the web application software stack. Specific to HTTP web applications are web application firewalls, known as WAFs. And what these do is operate at layer 6, looking at the content of the web request to identify known attack patterns based on rule matching. Mod Security is a free solution that has rule sets from OWASP for the most common attacks, and this is a must-have for anyone taking web application security seriously. To get the data that you need from the different logs that are generated from the web hosting software, proxies, databases, or any other log generating software, you have FileBeats and the various modules that exist as part of that program that will ship that data as well as the database template and dashboards into the Elasticsearch stack for manipulation. And finally, there are many web-specific vulnerability scanning tools that can be leveraged much in the same way that Nmap can be used as a continuous monitoring tool for changes in security. Cyclically scanning for known vulnerabilities and tune for your environment, then feeding those changes into a database that you can then visually detect changes in over time, or even alert on a specific output or behavior. This is a great way to get some mitigation capabilities in front of a CI/CD lifecycle that informs you of changes in applications threat surface as the engineers and developers update the software.